is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had an incredible weekend. Got to do something fun, relax a little bit, because we're winding down for this year. I mean, we're almost halfway through. The end of the year gets very slow in the market, but we got a big week. We got a huge week ahead of us. This is probably the last biggest week, I would say, of 2023. I believe we got CPI tomorrow. I think we got PPI on Wednesday. We also got the Fed speaking on Wednesday. Then we got quad witching on Friday. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. So this is going to be a pretty, I think, volatile week. We'll see what happens. But I need some consistency in my life. I need some consistency. We got Al in the house. So good morning to you. We got Albert. We got Bill. We got the whole squadron here every single day. We got Brian. Good morning to you. Eric, Fabrice, George, Greg, Jay. Good morning to Jeremy, Joe, JT. We got Liza in the house. Good morning to Lauren, Marius, Martina. We got Ryan. Good morning to you. All my peeps out in YouTube land. Good morning to all you guys as well. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And the comment section is open. You guys can throw us some comments in the in YouTube too. If there's a certain ticker that you guys might be looking for, make sure you guys throw that in there. Yeah, I knew Macys was coming up, Lauren. I knew Macys was going to be on the list today. All right, we'll take a look though. We got SPY. So SPY's been struggling with. I mean, I don't know what the struggle is, but we've been we've been pushing up to the highs of Friday multiple times and just getting pushed back down. So we're sitting at a little bit of resistance. Let's see if we have any reason. There should be resistance here. Beautiful close on Friday, right above all those that last little peak, the last little wick. The challenge to this market is obviously it just goes straight up. Tage is in the house. What's up, Tage? Sage is here. Oof. I gotta hang out with Tage. I'm thinking when I could do that. Wednesday. I'm free Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm in Long Island. All right. We also have the stock jumping above this big red candle. Not a lot of volume on that. That was a big sell-off day, but okay volume, nothing too crazy. And we are into a little bit of maybe a little chop zone that we're entering. So we're at the bottom of the chop zone. So I can see a little maybe resistance coming in here. This is the weekly, by the way. This is the weekly I'm on. So this is the weekly we're gapping above. That's kind of crazy. That is a pretty bullish weekly move. The daily, same thing. So there's our pivot. If we're looking for any type of volume areas, there's nothing really holding us back until we were looking for 464. So I see one here, 462.95, and then back to this 464. So I'm really looking for this 464 still. We'll see what happens. But there's really nothing holding us back except for some volatility this week. Some big news reports. Again, we have the market where we want to if you're bullish. If we slip on some of that CPI, PPI, yeah, tons of abbreviations. Yeah, that could get a little rough. Get rough. Yeah, Tage, I'll shoot you a text. We'll head out to that lamb spot. That's where I want to go. I missed that place. All right, we'll check out the Qs. Qs again, same type of thing. Not too much activity on the Qs, gapping down, maybe about 10 pennies, nothing crazy. Qs has a little bit more work to do, but that was a pretty good follow through at least yesterday. And I'd want to see at this point a close, first of all, above 392.71, and then above 394.12. If we get to either of those, we're good. Otherwise, all that volume that came in on, I was gonna say yesterday, but not yesterday, Friday. That was right at 392.20-ish, so 23. So we're going to have to start getting some closes above there if we're going to continue. Otherwise, if people are going to use this as our resistance, then maybe we do finally get a little pullback at open. That would probably take us down to, I don't know, the first spot would be 391.18. And then following that would be 390.67. So could be a little chop day of waiting as well on at least the overall indices. until we get some bigger news tomorrow to help continue to push us or finally give us a little pullback into the end of the year. But this is, I mean, Santa Claus rally is here. We'll pull up Macys next, which it has a little bit of that Santa feel to it because it's a retail stock, but obviously there's other news in there too today. TLT is gapping down a little bit. I'd be looking for support 94.42. My bad. Resistance, and then support is going to come in. First little support I see is 93.40. So this could give us a little bit extra downward pressure onto the market today. Could keep us down. That is a gap and go to the bearish side of things. And you do have support a little bit further. We'd also have this gap that's not filled quite yet. So in a longer term basis, somewhere around 92 probably has to get filled first. But TLT, I can see giving us a little bit of pressure. Macys, there's a private investor group. I don't know. They call themselves Investor Club. So this is some rando investor club. I don't know what it is, but so they're trying to make a bid for. I was curious where this was going to open. I think pre-market it was a little bit higher, but they're looking for a 5.8 billion, I think 5.88 billion buyout of Macys. That is one heck of an investor club. They sold a lot of candy bars. They did the magazine drive a lot of times to get 5.88 billion. But that would throw the valuation somewhere closer to about $21. Pre-market, I believe we were gapping above $21 at one point, which didn't really make too much sense. This open is going to be interesting because we still now have about 94 cents, but I think that's probably where we draw that hard line in the sand is probably $21. So I think a little bit more to the I think we have a little bit more room from this open to the upside. But I don't see it going much further than that. It wouldn't make too much sense. This is technically a gap and go. So here's the Santa Claus rally, right? We're starting to rally. Everything's looking good. It's already had a tremendous move. I mean, it gave people lots and lots of time to get in from $10 to $11.50 within that range before it broke out. It even gave them one more shot to get in after that first break. And then so you're up 100% even here at open for anybody that took advantage of that one. But if you're going to max it out $21, I actually have better risk to the downside for a fade. And not sure how much is going to fade. Don't forget, I mean, it's not an accepted offer from Macys. One PR press release saying no, we're not selling, or we're not taking the offer, or any jitters on the deal, and that thing's going to come right back down too. So you probably do have a better risk reward actually to the downside than the higher side at this point. You have about $1 risk if the deal goes through. So otherwise, really nice gap. I wouldn't really probably go long on this one. I'd probably look more short than anything. It does have a 14% short float, but why? why would this one, even on a short float? Yeah, you might be looking at some squeezes, I guess. But the higher it goes, again, the buyout's gonna be $21. So why would anybody be buying it over? To me, it doesn't make sense. So I'd be watching that one. I'd be careful for me on the long side of that. But GameStop's not worth $500 either. So I mean, the short squeeze their short squeeze is like 130%. So it's a little bit different situation than Macys 14, but definitely some bearish trapped on it. All right, we got the Googs. Another little gap down. So this was a retest gap on Friday. We came in perfect little retest right into the candle. We actually came into about 50% of Thursday's candle, got rejected there. So there's a little extra pressure on Google. Really below, we're in pretty much essentially this gap right here. We're also back in this gap here, which was covered once. I think this will act as a retest gap, but I think it's short and sweet. This gap is also a gap and go too. I think if we have a really good bearish day on Google, would take us to about 132.19. Again, you got about $1 to the downside, making risk to reward a little bit better. I'd have to get up to 134.58 for a better spot to short. To the higher side, it's going to give me about $1 as well. So I got about $1 each way on Google. Let's take a look at Spotify. Spotify has a new price target just released today for $300. I don't know what the short float is on spot. Let's see. Finviz. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, so we got a 1% short float. So we're not going to get the short float play on this one, but that is a nice break. I'm watching this one today. I feel like this one might be one to play. I got not really a whole heck of a lot of volume in here. Next spot of where the Bears probably want to come in and try to protect this thing is about 204.90. And then I'm looking at 207.41. This one might be a little spready too at open. We'll see. That's the other thing I want to check is the spread. But they're throwing a full $100 extra on this one. It's already run up a little bit. Let's see if we get a little tiny pullback at open. Not sure if we do or not. But I wouldn't mind going long on Spotify today. So I'm going to push this one much, much higher on the list. All right. Oh, Santilla Lala's in the house. Good morning to you. BBY and Nike. BBY, Best Buy. Retail's been doing good. This is going to be more tech retail than anything. I feel like I haven't been to a Best Buy in like 18 months. And I might be going underestimating that time frame. You do have a pretty nice gap and go. The one challenge to this one obviously is that it is still inside day. So if this one gapped up to like $75, that would be a little bit better. Knowing that resistance is probably 75.16. We also have tweezer tops on this one, 75.76. But right now we're kind of in this chop zone. So it is a gap and go. I'd probably be looking for bullish. See if we get a pullback first on Best Buy. NKE. Nike with a nice strong gap. See if this one pulls back. Play it as a retest. That's what I would be looking for. I don't want to go short Nike, but I will buy it if it pulls back. I'm looking at one brief resistance somewhere around 118.43. So from this point, we got about 75 cents of upside if that's where the resistance comes in. Otherwise, I think that is a spot that can break. We're gapping above this little red candle. How much volume's there? We got a tad increase in volume. Nothing too crazy. Where's the next real volume candle? That's this major one. So probably bigger resistance is going to put us at 119.61. This is a retest candle from Friday. Good clearing of the gap. Everything looks good as far as that goes, but let's see if we get that pullback and then look for a spot to buy long. I think would be the better play. Not a whole tremendous a lot of volume here. This one, yep, right into that 1920, 1919 zone. That's probably where resistance comes in. See if this one wants to pull back to maybe that resistance node. So that will support this spot. That would be 116.50. So let's see if this one could drop about $1.20. If you're quick, you might be able to get some money out of this to the short side at open. I really don't like shorting something that's currently breaking a pivot. So I think especially after it's already run up a little bit. But I think pulling back to that 1650 zone will give us a really, really good opportunity. So we'll keep that one on the list. That one looks good. Oxy. Can I buy it now? Oxy is buying someone else. You have a few things of why you probably can buy this one. One, you are at major support. aka the Warren Buffett support. He's still holding his shares, but they are buying another company. I forget which one it is. Let's see if it's in here. Uh, what was the dividend? 18 cents. Yep. So they fall after $12 billion deal for Crown Rock. Company says it will buy energy producer Crown Rock in a cash and stock deal valued at 12 billion, including debt, expanding to Permian Basin. So usually when a company buys out another company, it's tough. They usually go down because obviously your balance sheet looks worse next quarter. You're at long-term support. You're going to have Warren Buffett continuously stepping in to buy. I can't see him not buying more based on his previous buy spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have a good little almost bear trap wick underneath this thing from Thursday. This is a bearish gap and go. So I would want to see how this one sets up, but this one actually could be a good day trade bullish day. If we could get this spot to hold, so I'd be looking for maybe 56.25. I think we have the opportunity after all that selling. We might get some bulls, aka Buffett, to come in. I'll take a trade with Buffett any day. Any day. Not that he's sitting there hitting buttons and he'll be selling before the end of today. But the one thing I don't like about this is we're definitely breaking through some key volume areas, which is 58.63. So that's going to be my target today for a day trade purpose. Otherwise, for a swing trade, again, it looks like it's about to jump off a cliff here. Right? If we start breaking through some of these levels, I would say if we get any type of close below 56.14, this thing is most likely heading lower. There's not a lot of resistance or support in the way. But that also provides us a good opportunity for risk to reward. We know where our stops have to be. I mean, we could, depending on how comfortable you are with your risk to reward, if you're throwing any stops at 56.14, I would probably go lower than that. You almost have a double bottom here. Throw a stop at like 55.84. You want to go a little wider, you got 55.48. So there's a lot of spots on this chart that gives you really good risk to reward to go bullish after all of that selling comes down. Obviously, oil's coming down in general. So the last week we've just been pretty much selling off on crude. That should affect it, but you at least have good risk reward here. Obviously, I think in a longer term picture, if Oxy buys out Crown Rock, that's going to be a stronger company. But the immediate reaction, and I'm surprised it's not actually gapping down more. That just might lean into the strength of this. I would expect I think if Warren Buffett was not tied up into this, we'd have a much bigger gap to the lower side. Let's see. We got Paramount Global. Are they the ones with the Barbie movie? I forget which studio came out with Barbie. I think it was Paramount. I could be wrong on that. Nice little gap. We're starting to clear a big volume candle, which is right over here. And we're sitting inside one more. See if this one wants to retest a little bit, at least with that bullish. This is a bullish retest gap. So see if this one wants to pull back maybe to like 17.24. And this one could go. I think this one does have a high short float, if I'm not mistaken. PARA. Yeah, 14.75%. And one volume area cleared. The problem is we got to deal with this one right here. So my targets would be if we could get up here, that's $18.99. That's a pretty big move for a $17 stock. Pretty big. But a lot of volume came in there. There's going to be a lot of interest that this thing does not break that. So that would be my bigger target for today. If we get a small little move down, I think it's worth the attempt. To try to play that one bullish. Really nice close on Friday. But yep, that one looks good too. Baba, yeah, so Baba I think was gapping down, continuing its fall to 60. This is probably more of a short opportunity than anything. Again, patience at open. If we can get any type of buying, Baba's been doing this a lot. So we've been just stair stepping down on Baba. We've seen these gaps come in and then they'll just fade up throughout the day. That could be the case here. Obviously, there's nothing really in the way. I own some Baba. I'm just gonna let it continue to fall and then probably buy some more. But first spot I'd be looking for about a 66.15 and then 64.04. Again, it is a gap and go to the bearer side, but we've been selling into this gap and go, and then I've noticed every single. So here's a gap down, kind of faded up. There's a gap down, faded up. There's a gap down, faded up. Um, there's a gap down to 3-4 days to fade up. So all these gaps they do start fading on Baba. So that's the one thing I'd be cautious of, just watching it trade before. Otherwise, I think in a longer term, if you could get in there for a bearish move, it's probably the right place to do it. Coinbase, COIN. Yeah, we have Bitcoin actually pushing down a little bit today. So crypto's a little bit weaker, which I think, I mean, honestly, is kind of needed. It's been on an absolute tear lately. So Coinbase just really stuck in this chop zone. It is a gap and go bearish inside day. You are at one level of support resistance. Looks like we're pretty much right at it. That's 140.73. If we start to lose that level, I'd be looking for a short into probably about 136.52. So that could be an interesting looking bear play. Maybe we finally get some kind of pullback on Coinbase. We'll see. Larkin says, good morning, DJ. Nerve is looking good to hit $8.86. Start of wave 1, 10:30 on the daily. Now looks to be finishing wave 4 and wave 5. Takes it up to target. Thoughts for a swing? Let's take a look. Nerve. Neuroscience. Their earnings have been pretty much misses. They have had no surprises in there. I've never seen that. Not even a little surprise on either direction, for especially for 4 quarters in a row. That's absolutely the first time I've ever seen that. Otherwise, surprise earnings earnings per share has been a consistent miss. This is a good gap and go. It is biotech, it looks like, an ERV. So I'd be a little concerned with that. One little news report could push it. Not really any short float on that one. So you don't have that luxury. But yeah, that is a really good breakout. I don't see any news on why that would be a breakout. Neurosciences. I don't know what this company does. Let's see real quick. What industry? Health technology. Not pay dividends. Which engages in come on. Clinical stage biopharmaceutical company which engages in development and commercialization of portfolio of product candidates to treat central nervous system disease. I mean, that's a big one. Yeah, anything with biotech. So just be careful of biotech in general. You could be like 3 pennies away from a target, and then they come out with like they didn't get an approval or something like that. This all could be by the rumor type situation. So otherwise, on a chart basis, which again, biotech, it's hard to chart. You could be 3 pennies away, and then all of a sudden, this thing goes down to like 25 cents a share. Otherwise, charting wise, beautiful double bottom. That does look like a good break. Nice pullback. If we're just talking charting, this one looks good for probably a swing. Yep, I agree. I would probably, and it might work for me or against me, but I'd probably have to go with a tighter stop on this one. So instead of getting my stop down here, 475, something like that, for me, I think I would throw a stop maybe at like 551, 550. just so I could get out of it sooner, more or less. But again, if I'm in this trade, if I'm in a swing on it and then the news comes out, I got a heck of a lot more shares and risk on the line by doing that, where it just skips right over my stop. So be careful on it. Just based on nothing else but the industry. Otherwise, yeah, I think it looks good. I even have a spot up till probably $10.82 if it really wants to get going. Looking at volume areas, you're going to hit a little resistance, $7.22. And then if you get past that, you're free and clear to $7.66. And then that'll probably get you into the target you're looking for, is about $8.61. Anything past $8.61, the next volume area probably comes in $9.47. So you could probably try to hold for more or piece out some of your position if you'd like to. Santilla says maybe 60 for Babo. Yeah, I think 60 is very possible on it. Valuation wise, I'm still buying at 60. I'm gonna start buying it again at 66. C limited, yeah. A lot of people getting wrecked. They're definitely getting wrecked on this, but you're opening right at a key resistance or key support on this thing. I will move this one up higher on the list. If this one wants to start to break down, I like it a lot. That is also a fairly good gap and go. Breaking down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles. You're also opening underneath that previous last volume area, which is 3601. And I would look for a continuation down. That is a lot of selling pressure on that one candle. They only let this thing get up maybe about to the 618 of that big drop. I think you do have a lot of selling pressure on this one. Again, be careful of some of those levels down there that might hold. We've held this zone before. If I was to do let's see if I can get a little trend line on this one at least. Trend line here, maybe something like that. That's opening below it. Yeah, it looks weak. It looks very weak. And then the last real volume area is 3692. Neo. Neo will be boring today. $7 to $8 range. Let's see. Yeah. Still inside this high wave candle. If you're going to make a case that Neo is going to break out, I could definitely make a case. I don't know if today's like a big major breakout, but as a swing trade, maybe. So if we want to talk swing trade, I'm looking at maybe some kind of a downtrend here. I would throw us right back into it, even if I want to get creative with this thing and go, okay, this is actually the downtrends. Then that was our retest gap. We came in, we closed the gap there. I could make a good case to be bullish on Neo from here, at least again for risk reward purpose. If you have a stop on a swing trade at like 701, I think that's worth a shot. For day trade wise, we're gonna need everything EV to start moving. I think we need Tesla to have a good day. We need Rivian to have a good day, and then that might help Neo. But yeah, probably a little bit more range bound today. I'd almost want to see a couple more days of sideways movements. Otherwise, I'd probably give it a shot to go bullish, especially if we are getting this pullback, which we're starting to at open. But that is also the opening bell. So everybody out there in YouTube land, I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also, check out reallifetrading.com. We do have free educational classes on day trading, swing trading, long-term investment. I think Jeremy and Thomas Wong have a new financing course coming out. We got some crazy things, but you guys can check it out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.